Let's get this over with.
Okay, well, hold on. We got a couple of memes we need to check off the list right away. It's better than nothing. $4 million. Anime fan on prom night. Good, we got the easy references out of the way.
Pizza.
Pizza. Oh, yes, of course.
Okay. We'll see you guys next time for the Mighty Number 9 commentary. Looking forward to Mighty Number 10.
And you thought Sonic 06 was bad.
This.
Okay. Can I don't think it's that bad in terms of quality.
I'm talking about the load times here.
Oh, 19,
okay, that's right.
19 seconds to get to the options screen. I counted. Options, 19 seconds. Ugh.
I don't want to be a really bad nitpicker, but the one thing about Mighty Number 9 that legitimately bothers me is that the game kind of feels like the game kind of feels like it's held together by a bunch of scotch tape. Like, it is so technically weird. It has these really, really long load times and these odd memory leak problems like what's been plaguing Pro Jared in his playthrough.
It is the present year. What a sentence that is.
Oh man, that's not as funny as 20X-teen, I'm gonna say, or 20 double X.
It's just a pointless sentence. It's like it's the present year. Well, it's inherently always the present year, so okay.
It's just a cop out to not even have the 20XX kind of setting that Mega Man has.
Okay, yeah, but this Mighty Gunvolt still takes the cake. Another time, another place, yada yada yada. All the female students are disappearing. Love is in danger. What?
Jack.
Jack. Now, okay,
So,
full disclosure here, I kickstarted this game, I believe.
I did too.
I
think everyone did.
No, not Lewis.
Not Lewis.
Because he
didn't
can be
have money at the
incredibly
time.
smug about it now.
Well, no. You know what? No. Everyone who kickstarted this game, good on you, because you saw something good and you wanted to support it. I would say the same for Ukulele, Bloodstained, all the other stuff that I've kickstarted some stuff. Shroud of the Avatar, the Ultima spiritual successor that Richard Garriott's doing. Although I feel a little. Yeah, Hat in Time as well. Although I did that so that I could get copies for me and my girlfriend, so that was a bit more selfish. I don't really consider that backing so much as pre-ordering. But, Mighty Number 9 just had a really crap Kickstarter campaign all throughout. Like, I feel totally okay about Shroud of the Avatar in spite of the massive delays that's suffering, because the way they're handling beta access is you basically get a free... Not free. You basically get a constant stream of new updates, and you know exactly where the game development is at any given time and why it's there.
So there's communication.
Yeah, there's constant communication, and you get to play the current build at any given time, which is awesome. But this is... Well, I'm not exactly...
What the heck is this?
Gold.
I love gold.
How much money did you throw away at this?
Wait, is this a Kickstarter bonus?
Yeah.
Oh God, ew.
Golden Beck is a Kickstarter bonus. I think it was what was the tier reward for it?
I can't remember.
I want to say
so
it
long.
was 60.
Ugh.
But
Once again, the
I was only a $20 contributor.
Myself as well. I just got enough for the game. I got the WiiU version of the game, which, whoa, was that a bad idea?
Well,
Same.
I mean, the audience can see right now. This is the Wii version of the game that we're commentating over.
Yep.
Now, can I ask why? I mean, could your thing not run the PC version, or is it just the version you opted for?
It's just the version I opted for. It's easier for me to record off a console, and my computer's
Well,
not showing its
That's a
age.
good point.
Attention. Is this
Well,
That's true. There are a few times the game does that. It kind of reminds me of
crisis?
Portal and Portal 2, where sometimes since the characters had so much creative freedom to talk what they wanted, they didn't actually put it in the script.
Oh, man, so this game it's just frustrating though, because again, when this Kickstarter first launched, and I know this was like 3 years ago, so I understand why people don't remember, but the game did look very promising, and I haven't played through this game all the way through because of reasons I'll get to later. But it's frustrating when I see a game that could very easily have been fantastic, where all the pieces are there, but they don't come together. And that's basically what's frustrating to me about Mighty Number 9. Not what it is, but that given, I don't know, a better team, more time, I can't believe they would need more time, but more time, I don't know, this could have been like a damn good Mega Man game, and
No.
The thing is that they've had plenty of time. The other question is whether or not did they use it effectively.
Clearly
The
not.
thing
Okay,
is,
we
we
got-
don't know because
'Cause they didn't
again,
say anything.
They didn't say anything.
During that time, we got, Azure Striker Gunvolt, we got Mighty Gunvolt, which probably didn't take too long to make because 8-bit and everything, but like that's two other games in this sort of general
Shovel.
franchise.
I like how Dr. White here forgot he even gave this robot its ability.
not to mention that we've also gotten plenty of Mega Man-esque games in the meantime, like Shovel Knight, for instance, which was also kickstarted and is fantastic, for the record. And is still,
It's still
getting updates.
free DLC.
Yes.
You see, in most cases, not this case, but in most cases, I would say that because Shovel Knight was pixel art, it would probably have been easier to design once all of the assets were set up. But okay, no frickin' 2.5D game in this day and age of this graphical level has any excuse to have the technical issues that Mighty Number 9 has. And I'm not just referring to
complain too hard.
console
Looks-
version.
I was gonna say, don't complain too hard. It looks great for a launch PS2 game.
What's
No, I'll give it a little more credit than that. Graphical fidelity is, well, except for those horrible explosion graphics, higher than early PS2.
I'd say it's like a Wii game, honestly.
I'm sorry, Dreamcast.
It's, I wouldn't mind kind of the weird. It's hard to describe the art style change. It's just kind of weird to me now, but I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't. Really, the biggest technical issue for me for this game is the frame rate. Now, I know
Oh,
that.
it's awful, and that's because they tried to develop it for like 8 consoles at once.
Yeah, I believe I played this on the Wii U, and I believe on the Wii U the game has an uncapped frame rate. So basically, what that means is it doesn't just stay at 30 whenever the system can process higher than 30. It will go above 30 into like 40. I believe that's how it works. There's a video on, I believe, Media Foundry which explains it better. But basically what that means is the frame rate's jittering all over the place, and it literally gave me a physical headache trying to play the game. The only other game that I can think of in recent memory that made me do that is Sonic Genesis. Okay.
It does the same thing that Sonic Unleashed did on the PS3, where it tries to play at 60 frames per second, but it can't, so it's constantly going back and forth between 60 and 30 and 60 and 20. And
it's not even
But why
60,
is-
it's like 45 and 25 most of the time.
Why
It's
30 though for the Wii U version? I mean, it's an uncapped frame rate. Does that mean the default frame rate for Mighty Number 9 on the Wii U is supposed to be 30?
no, it's not like
Or is it just
It goes-
that
it
poorly
goes higher.
optimized that it's
It's-
stuck at
it's-
30 and then only goes to occasionally 40 or 50 when it has the...
I think it's just that poorly optimized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a video. Media Foundry did a video explaining it way better than I ever could. So
Okay.
go check them out. Plug. But
Tutorial boss.
okay, now here's something that I dislike about all the bosses in the game. In order to kill them, you have to dash into them, which is what you do with the. I don't mind that for the regular enemies, but what I do mind is having to dash into the boss and potentially dash inside of the boss and take pot shot damage when you're trying to get rid of their health. And you have to do it fast too, because if you wait too long, you don't get as much health off of the boss. And it's
Yeah.
Well, this saving the bosses mechanic would have been interesting if it was played. It might seem a little less classy than it should to bring this up right after I stream the game, but if they had handled it like Undertale, where it was an option to save the bosses rather than killing them.
Well, then you would have to have a reward and consequence.
Well, yeah,
That's what- that's what,
different endings and all of that.
That's what a powered up did, then, essentially.
yeah. If you beat the bosses without using the special weapons, if you got to play as them, and I mean that I think would make sense because you would get the reward. Like if you beat the bosses without using the weapons, and I mean you'd probably do that anyway because most of the weapons suck. But if you did that, then you would get the scenes and the levels where they help you. I think that would be rewarding enough, personally. Because character dynamics is something that this game really tries to do, and given a slightly better script and more emotive character models, I think it would have been good. So.
And acting that's not flat as hell.
Yeah, basically.
These cutscenes.
Ugh. No effort was put into these at all.
I would have preferred Nintendo DS artwork slideshows.
These kind of, well, you know what? I'm not going to say do that because that's just as lazy, if a little bit more presentable. But these kind of look like really cheap 3D storyboards more than cutscenes, and that's my main problem with them. But I have higher tolerance for these kind of cutscenes than most people, so I'm not going to gripe too much about it.
My thing is that when it's 2D or 3D, your expectations for presentation shift. If it's 2D portraits, maybe it's because we've been playing games for as long as we have. I think we can come to accept static portraits that change, based on the current emotion of the scene. But with 3D models, I'm expecting a little more pizzazz. Like what Beck there, he was trying his damnedest to show emotion there for a second, but his programming wouldn't allow it. And it's with 3D models, I'm expecting more. This is going to sound like a really weird comparison, but Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. In that game, their lips didn't move when they were talking, but they emoted the hell out of their lines. Like they might as well be acting out those lines. And it's weird, yes, but it's much better than what Mighty Number 9 does here.
And not to mention that you have games like Shovel Knight, which has a much more touching and humorous story without having like nearly half the dialogue or something
What do you
like.
think, Beck? I like gold. Oh.
So did Beck get all of the seven super Zells or something, and then become Super Beck or whatever?
Nope, it's just gold.
It's gold Beck.
You spray painted your amiibo, didn't you?
Confess.
Now you're starting with this level. Oh man.
Yeah. I just go in order.
Yeah, I started with Mighty Number 1 myself. Holy shit.
Okay, so
we can do this shit because these load times are so obnoxious.
Okay, you said you're gonna go in order, Ryan.
Yeah.
1,
But
2,
so
3.
you're not gonna
Okay,
like take advantage
so-
of boss weaknesses
all
or
right,
anything
this-
like that.
I will once,
This-
just for cryo.
This brings up one of the issues with Mighty Number 9, which even as a
The game blatantly tells you what order to go to.
Yeah. Whenever
I
you
don't
beat a
mind
boss, an advice slider will appear over whichever other stage that boss's weapon is a weakness to. So basically, after you beat one boss, you can coast through the game without having to figure out an optimal order for things.
I don't mind that personally. Because
I don't exactly mind it, but I really, really wish it had been an option and not just something that happens, because to a lot of Mega Man fans, especially long-time Mega Man fans, who are, the majority of the backers, I would imagine, that figuring it out on your own is an important part of the experience.
With that said, the boss weaknesses I don't feel help very much because all the weapons really suck. Like
I've seen Pro Jared go through the bosses with the weaknesses. They go down like sacks of bricks.
well then
Yeah,
he's a much better gamer
Yeah, but
than
it's-
I am because I tried to take down Avi using what's his name?
Counter shades.
Counter-Shade's weapon, and that was practically impossible.
It's obviously at least her Mighty Number in this game.
Oh, he's
Well,
obnoxious.
you know,
It does.
it didn't actually look that hard when Jared was doing it, but he did do that with that weapon, and it went down pretty fast.
I'm stubborn. I try to quote-unquote mega buster everything.
Okay. Well,
Except for cryo because I had difficulty with her.
there are 3. I like 3 weapons in this game. I like Cryo's weapon.
Cryo's the only good one.
Blade. No, I would strongly disagree on that one. Cryo's weapon is great, but so is Blade's because it's close range and it neutralizes projectiles. And Bat's weapon, the not crash bomber, holy fuck! Like that ruins everything.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we just missed a high not flame Hyanard.
Oh, well, no, he's not that bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, he gets close, but he's not quite that bad.
Yeah, not quite that bad, but
Yeah,
I got bad flashbacks.
it's just frustrating. A lot of the stuff about this game is very frustrating because the game doesn't. explain anything. And I mean, granted, you know, having too many tutorials is bad in and of itself, but like, for example, like there's no real indication like what all of the different things you get for dashing into the enemies specifically do. Yeah, but
Well, no,
that
this
out.
game has a ton of logs or whatever you can read, but that's not good game design.
Yeah, there's like a million different weird moves that Beck can do, and some of them are necessary to beat the game. Like the crouch dash,
crouch
which you wouldn't
dash.
even know that he could do because Beck can't crouch.
Yeah, that's actually really weird until you realize it's there, because like the crouch dash doesn't visually look much different than the regular dash, but you do need to do the crouch dash to get under like those spinning blades of terror in that one other level.
There's no real reason for a crouch dash to exist, though. Why not just make it a pixel? It's that gap there is really only there to justify the existence of the crouch dash, when otherwise, like, why else would you need it? You know, it's
Maybe there's some form of utility that I don't know. Again, it may be just a speedrunning trick, because Mighty Number 9 is clearly designed for a speedrunner.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
at the expense of every other player, I would say. And I love how these columns don't do anything to these
Environment, yeah.
Yeah, like, I think it's that kind of stuff, like, it's this kind of stuff which makes me understand why they wanted to make this a 3D game as opposed to, like, a full sprite-based game, but at the same time, it's also this
If
kind
you're
of...
not gonna do if you're not gonna do anything with it, what's the point?
Like, this would be cool if, like, you could either dash through and not have holes, or these things would, like, break the environment and now you have an extra pit to jump across. Like, that would be a cool
do you
level
risk
gimmick.
do you risk getting flattened to not have to make another jump, or do you play it safe and have to try and make another jump?
Yeah, that would be cool, but the game... And I think that might have been the plan at one point, but it just doesn't happen, so...
Are you ready for frame rate drops?
Oh,
dear.
this section
Wow.
just looks basically unplayable in some instances.
Okay, I
Now-
will say this now, probably say it 3 or 4 times throughout this. If you are interested in any regard for Mighty Number 9, if you haven't bought it
Play the
yet,
PC version.
get it on the PC.
Now
Yeah.
you blazed through that, but it's totally possible to just wait for the things to fall and then dash across.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
you can
it
get
definitely
away
is, but-
with getting
you can get away
high
with just-
altitude and just dashing like
dash.
mad.
Oh, we'll see that in Cryo stage.
Oh, okay, looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, when Pro Jared went into that stage, he went to the underwater section, and
They just
because of the
flew
way
over it. Yeah, that's
gravity,
basically what I do.
because of the way gravity is handled underwater, you could just fly horizontally across the entire section and skip a whole long platforming section.
Oh, shut up, Flame High and Nerd. I didn't like you the first time.
Now, it's weird that the performances are also stilted, because they got a lot of
They-
big-name voice actors for this game.
Yeah, Beck is voiced by
As
Yuri
well,
Lowenthal.
Beck's Yuri Lowenthal? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well,
now
you
that
know-
you say it, it makes sense to me, but...
None of that is worth a damn if they don't direct them properly. Like
Yeah,
I think
that's-
the only character I like listening to in my mind that I can hear a specific voice direction instruction is Call, because they clearly told that actress to sound as much like an emotionless robot as you can. You don't get that kind of voice without trying.
I disagree. I think the direction.
Well, and
is
other
there. I
M,
think the
you got
direction
it.
is there. Again, it's the execution of the game and the way it animates characters that makes everything feel stilted.
I
You
mean,
can try your damnedest to give off a performance of a lifetime, but if the model doesn't reflect what you're saying, it doesn't work.
I think if I had to... Oh, you cut out like 3 deaths, damn. If I had to guess, I think that they were trying to go for an over-the-top kind of Saturday morning vibe with these voices, which I mean, I
Well,
guess...
probably
the
because they
point.
wanted to... Maybe because they wanted to plan for the cartoon.
I mean, but, you know, I'm all for, like, cheesy Saturday morning cartoon kind of voices. Like, I love that shit, so that would be fine for me. It's just... you're right, John, in that these models don't have that kind of farcical thing going for them. They're not... The models don't match the over-the-topness of the voices, so it just kind of comes off as cringy and not very good.
Yeah, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, the animations here aren't necessarily much better than in I Am Setsuna, but in I Am Setsuna you're reading text boxes the entire time. So, I guess there's less it feels less like two elements of the presentation are in conflict with each other. In a way, like I Am Setsuna just has the same kind of stilted animations that Final Fantasy VII had, I suppose you could say.
And just quick, the Turk to Pyro is just listen for his audio cue, and that determines what attack he's doing.
Well, if
Damn
they're
right.
not playing the dialogue at any given moment, you're fine.
Well, yes, that too.
Bravely Default has a similar thing kind of going on, but the difference is it's kind of an expectation due to the genre. In an RPG, you inherently expect to be staring at the characters and listening them talk a lot more than in a Mega Man styled game, where if they're going to stop you for story sequences, you expect something a little bit more extravagant, you know?
Mega Man.
Mega Man,
Need
Mega
you.
Man!
All comes together. Holy shit, I'm gold.
No, I'm not.
No, I am
Now I'm on
Pyrogen.
fire, I guess?
But I love gold.
Well, okay, that was part one.
And not in tomorrow, part 2. No,
This is going to be a long playthrough.